Hi everyone. Um, the last few days have been some pretty raw, hard days, and I figured I'd be a little bit vulnerable about it. I might not go into full detail here, probably won't, but feel free to contact me, DM me, or message me, and we can chat about some of these things. If you've heard my story of how I came to become a Christian, of why I put my faith in Jesus, you'll know that my story has reference to suicide and suicidal ideation, and a desire to want to end my life before my 16th birthday that God helped prevent. Not necessarily the desire to do so, but actually acting upon it. And that video is somewhere you can find. If you've had me on social media for any length of time, probably no stranger to me talking about ways I've struggled with anxiety and panic attacks and minor depressive episodes where suicidality or wanting to take my own life didn't fully disappear the moment I put my faith in Jesus. While, to quote someone I admire, while it's not necessarily as frequent, it's still present. Um, yeah. And so this has been on my mind, things I've been processing through more recently, especially in light of some news I came across that happened in the last week of a pastor in the States who died by suicide. And he was someone who was actually in mental health awareness and suicide prevention. I didn't know of him or his ministry or work or service until I heard the news of his death. And it really rocked me. It hit me hard. Before hearing about that, there was an anxiety attack. After hearing about it, there was a minor depressive episode. And it was just not a super great place, friends. Since then, God has been really gracious in letting me be amongst people who love me and who love him and who can speak truth to me. My husband, very close friends, but even just Christians who have wrestled with similar things, who have a lot of wisdom and truth to share on this subject. Recently, I came across a man in the States who is a Christian, who's a therapist, and who has also wrestled with suicidal depression and amongst bipolar disorder in his life. And he recently came out with a video just sharing a Christian perspective on suicide, but also on the hope that we have living now. Not just the hope we have in eternity in heaven. And I've listened to it twice by now. I've probably listened to it several times. There's just a lot of truth that resonated with me as someone who struggles with these things. But even if you don't struggle with it, I think it was just really wise, really solid truth that is good to actually know and hide in your heart for when you actually encounter someone who struggles with these things. And so I will be posting a link to that here. And I want to really encourage you to give it a listen. It's about 20 minutes, but it's worth listening to. If this is something you actually are struggling with, please don't isolate yourself. Please reach out to at least one or two trusted people in your life. Journey towards counseling, to just working with a professional who can help you understand what is happening in you and actually journey towards healing. And know that in the midst of it, your life has value. You are so dearly loved. You are made in the image of God, and He loves you. If no one else loves you, if you've only been hurt and abused and abandoned and rejected and treated horribly and dehumanized your entire life, the creator of the universe, created you, saw fit to make you in his image, and loves you. And I don't say these things lightly, as someone who has wrestled with what I've wrestled with, and who constantly is coming to God with anger and frustration over what I currently struggle with. But my hope now and for later is actually in this God. And I want to encourage you that he's someone worth putting that hope in. And I would love to talk to you more about these things. I'm not a trained counselor or therapist yet. That's something for the future. But I'm willing to be a listening ear. You're loved. Grace and peace.